Welcome to Pro Practice, your guide to refine, enliven, and illuminate the piano repertoire. I'm Josh Wright, and today's video is part of the new technique series where we're going through every key on the piano, both major and minor. So today will be the key of E, and we're going to go through scales, arpeggios, triads, and seventh chords, along with a unique way to practice each of them. In each video, I stagger which concept I do first. So I'm up to the fifth one, so I'm cycling back, and we're going to start with scales today. So C major started with scales, G major started with arpeggios, D major was triads, A major was seventh chords. Now we're going back to scales. Okay, so scales are a good place to start anyway, because it's nice and easy with the concept. Scales are friendliest with each unique technique, because of any of the techniques, I think scales are the most important in the sense that it's going to help you develop fluid technique, which is probably why you're watching these videos. Of course, arpeggios and triads are important too for developing other things that are critical, but I think scales kind of stand at the core. If your scales are bad, your technique's going to suffer overall. So today I want to introduce just the concept of slurs, and we're going to get to a fun little exercise that that you may not have seen before. Okay, so let's just start out and let's just go over the fingering really quick for E major. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty basic for the white keys. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So our fours are on D sharps. Okay, now left hand is just the opposite. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's try right hand for 4 octaves slowly. Focusing on clean releases, fingertips, nice curved fingers, even sounds so you don't have random accents. Left hand. Gently fold the hand over, don't wing out the elbow like that. Keep it nice and steady. Hands together. There are way more instances in music where two-note slurs start with a strong beat and the short one is weak than starting with a weak beat and going strong. So I wanted to say that before we introduced how the slurs, because a lot of people do this. It's very awkward, but so I want you to drop on the first note as you do your scale in slurs, okay? Down, hop, down, hop, down, hop. Let's just do 2 octaves to start with. Okay, you don't need to match the sound, because you want strong, less, more, less, more, less. You want to drop your hand, release it gently, wrist comes up just a little bit. On that, it's very lazy. Down, hop. But I'm not ever slamming my wrist down to get the sound and then throwing it up. It's just a very natural dropping and lifting. If any of you ever want some good inspiration for how to move as a pianist, watch ballet. I always hated ballet when I was younger. I thought it was so lame. And now that I'm a classical musician by profession, I really appreciate watching a ballet and noticing how they move so gracefully and how they are able to balance and do these very difficult moves by leveraging their body in certain ways. And so the same goes with piano. If you're playing super flat fingers, you're not going to be able to leverage weight very effectively. Whereas if you have nice curved fingers but a relaxed hand, it transfers the weight all the way from your back down your arm in through your fingertips very nicely. So we can have structure while maintaining looseness and flexibility. Okay, let's try left hand. opposite, hop, down, hop, down, hop, down, hop. If that screws you up to start with a hop, just get rid of it and start from the second note and just do down, hop, down, hop, down. And then put the hop back in. By the way, if you're wanting to learn your jazz skills and sound better than a classical musician, I remember as classical musicians we do this. Loud, less loud. That's the exact opposite of jazzers. They go. And so. Whatever you're going to do, you want to accent the offbeats. So this little slur exercise could actually help you with like a blues scale or something. All right? Okay, now for the one that's a little different that you may not have done. I remember my teacher made me do this on Winter Wind Etude. Let's see. As a little exercise. What you do is you do down, hop in one hand, and you do hop, down, hop in the other hand. So the way you get good at this, let me show you what it sounds like. Stupid. He's just coming up with creative ways now to practice, and is this really going to help me? Absolutely, it will help you, because there's going to be like a million instances throughout your life of places where you've got to be doing one thing in one hand and the other one, or even, or can you do the opposite? Have that total independence of the hands. This is a good introductory exercise to help with that. Okay, so here we go. Let's do the opposite. So we're gonna go hop in the right hand first. I think the first time I did long on the right hand. The way you get good at it, going back to my point, is you exaggerate your motion to start with. Maybe just do an octave. As you go faster, minimize that motion. Up. It's kind of like rubbing your stomach and patting your head at the same time. Kind of in a much more difficult way, obviously. So again, that will really help you develop the independence between the hands. Okay, let's go over E minor scale. Real quick, and then I'll just jump right into the end of that method, and then we'll move on. Okay, so the fingering, E minor has one sharp. Okay, so, but what do we always do to find harmonic? We raise the 7th scale degree, so we raise D up to D sharp. Again, if these concepts seem like I'm going too fast, go back and view the C major video, the key of C. I go over this very thoroughly. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 4 octaves. By the way, I always recommend doing 4 octaves. 2 octaves is not going to do as much for you unless you're starting out and scales are really difficult for you. If they're easy for you, do 4. If they're difficult, do 2. And you could always start with 1 and build up. Yeah, I just did the other video, A major. I just recorded the A major video, and we went over the 1, 2, 3, 4 method. That's a great way to build up to 4 octaves as well. So you can check out that video. All right, here we go. Left hand 4s are going to be on F sharps. 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Saying your fingering out loud is a good therapeutic way to really master something. 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Hands together. Let's just do 2 octaves each slur thing. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. hop in the right hand. All right, cool. So let's move on. Let's go on to E major and E minor arpeggios. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3 on both of them. Pretty basic. And in the left hand, 5, 3, 2, 1 on E major. 5, 4, 2, 1 on E minor, I think is a good finger. You could always do 5, 3, 2, 1 if you prefer. Okay, again, the whole reason why I like 4, 2, 1 a little better is it keeps my hand a little more neutrally pointing forward. This one kind of distorts it a little bit, so it might cause a little bit of trouble. So just straight on might help you a little bit. Okay, here we go. Let's start with major, right hand. Roll the wrist a little bit. Nice flexible hand connected. No elbowing out, or no winging out of the elbow, okay? Again, our notes are E, G sharp, B. I'm going to go real slow, just in case that was difficult for you. Smooth. Let's go over each of the slurs. And I'm just going to alternate for this one between major and minor for each down, hop, or hop down, or the alternating slurs, okay? So it's a little different from the way we did scales. Oh, you know what? I want to say something. Sometimes I like cross my legs under. You might not be able to see it, or I might even be really lazy and be like Glenn Gould and play with my leg crossed. Especially when you're first learning piano, I mean, I avoid that even in my own practice. I don't try to do that. But when you're first starting out, especially with arpeggios where you're going up and down the keyboard, you might tend to like fall sideways a little bit. I like to pretend like I'm sitting on a wide-seated motorcycle or a horse or something, because as I go up, I can push weight down into this right leg, or as I go down, push weight into that left leg. And that way I stay grounded, and it's like you're in an athletic stance, like you're guarding someone in basketball. That athletic stance can translate, even though piano isn't thought of as a sport, obviously, there's still many athletic things that we have to do to get the tension out. I noticed so many similarities in the styles of teaching of like ballet coaches or ice skating or diving or things like that. The things that I hear those types of athletes talk about are the same things that we have to do in piano. Make things as effortless as we can, leverage our body to make things as easy as possible. Make sure we don't let tension set in. So always be thinking organically as you go, and you can try spreading your legs a little bit if that helps you stay a little more grounded. Okay, here we go. E major, down hop. Okay, now hop down for, you know what, let's do down hop for E minor. Okay, now let's do hop down. Down hop in the right hand and hop down in the left. So down hop in the right hand. Okay, now hop down in the left. Okay, both of those in E minor. Let's see. Hop, down, hop in the right hand first. Let's go slow, just in case you're getting confused here. Yeah. I missed it. Okay, I gotta think. I don't know where I'm at. Okay, okay, it definitely helps. You might think, again, that seems kind of silly to do that, but look how easy that seems after doing something so intense as those slurs. Okay, let's move on to triads and inversions. All right, so E major, 5-3-1, 5-2-1, 5-3-1, 5-3-1, and back down. Okay, E minor, drop the third, drop the fifth for diminished, and I like to keep the fingering consistent. 5-3-1, 5-2-1, 5-3-1, 5-3-1. So first inversion has 5-2-1, everything else is 5-3-1. Okay, now slide back to major and raise the fifth for augmented. Okay, all right, let's do left hand. Left hand's a little different, 5-3-1, 5-3-1, 5-2-1 for second inversion. Because our hands are mirror images, they're not gonna line up perfectly with fingering. 5-2-1. Diminished. Oh, let's go slow on that one just so you can see the notes. Sometimes students get confused with diminished the most. That might be one where you have to change the fingering. 5-3-1, 5-2-1 just feels horrible right there. So 5-3-1 is okay right there for all of them in diminished. Okay, let's try it hands together. Real quick, just to recap your notes for major, E, G sharp, B. Minor is E, G, B. Diminished, E, G, B flat. And then major, or augmented is not E, G sharp, C. It's not it. It's E, G sharp, B sharp. Remember, you have to, this is for theory, obviously. This is the same note, B sharp or C natural. But if you're writing it out on a piece of paper, do not write C natural. Write B sharp, because you have to manipulate your original tones. So if your original tones are E, G sharp, B, you have to manipulate that. Okay, how do we get there? So it's B sharp, okay? That's just important to remember, especially if you're in college theory and you're doing this. Make sure that you remember that. Otherwise, you're gonna get a million things wrong, because this is a C diminished chord. It's not an E augmented chord, okay? Or sorry, that would be a C augmented chord, not an E augmented chord, so I apologize. They sound the exact same, they're just inversions of each other, but they're spelled differently. C, E, G sharp is C augmented, E, G sharp, B sharp is E augmented, okay? If that makes sense, I hope it does. If it doesn't, you can email me and I can explain it further, but I think that's pretty basic. Let's go over, now this is a healthy challenge to do slurs with chords, okay? But it's good for you. Let's do 2 octaves. So what you have to do is very quickly find it and come off. So it sounds like it's connected. I'm not using my pedal at all right now. If I was using pedal, it'd sound better. But it's super easy because you can come off. I want you to get used to going down, hop. There will be a lot of good practical applications for this. Minor. Augmented. sloppy. Alright, let's go over hop down. Sorry, down hop, sorry. Okay, okay. Okay, all right, now for the healthy challenge. Oh, wow, this is going to be tough. Let's switch it. That is tough stuff. All right, so again, you can check out my free hands video, free hands. It's all about releasing into a neutral position between your chords. That's basically the synopsis of the video. Is what that'll do is it'll reset your hands. So whenever you're doing these intense, try not to hold tension, or you'll just be sunk right there. So. Okay, all right, now for 7th chords, even harder. All right, here we go. So we're on E major, 7. So to find, again, check out the C major video if this is new to you, okay, because it'll go over it slower. But to find our chords, let's just find our chords first. So E, G sharp, B, E, that's just a triad with an octave on top. Go down a half step, this gives you E major 7. Okay, drop your 7th down from there, another half step to find E dominant 7. E, G sharp, B, D. Okay, drop your 3rd down a half step to find E minor 7, E, G, B, D. Drop your 5th down a half step to find half diminished 7, E, G, B flat, D. Okay, and then drop your 7th down to find half or fully diminished 7, E fully diminished 7, E, G, B flat, D flat, not C sharp. Okay, so that's important. Spelling is important. Not D, C sharp, it's D flat, because we always manipulate the original tones. E, G, B, D, E, G sharp, B, D sharp, so forth. Okay, let's try that. You know what? Just for the sake of, if you're a beginner, if this is the first technique video that you've watched of mine where I'm going through these, I'm going to go real slow for you. Okay? I'm just going to do those in inversions. Again, an inversion is just a reordering of the chord. So that's your E major 7. I'm just going to put the E on the top. You can roll these if they're difficult. Okay? Again, my fingering's 5, 3, 2, 1 on all of them except this first inversion, 5, 4, 2, 1. But it will change as I start to space things out differently with like half diminished and fully diminished. You can sometimes do like 1, 2, 3, 5 for every chord. So it just depends on where it's comfortable in your hand. Don't be like inverting your hand to try to keep your fingering consistent. I like to keep closed hand positions, so 1 on top, 1 on bottom, 5 on top. But other than that, you can reorder them to like 2, 4 or 3, 2 or whatever feels comfortable for you. Diminished, slowly. Minor. Half diminished. try those hands together. Here we go. Nice and slow. Let's space them out. Let's go up an octave. Yeah. By the way, the reason I went up an octave rather than doing here, it's harder to tell if you make mistakes low down here. So if I was, there's no way I'd be able to tell if that was correct. Up here it's much easier, and especially if you space them out, it's easier to hear it. Let's try, you know what, let's just take one of these just for time's sake. Let's take half diminished. I love half diminished chords. Okay, and let's do 2 octaves. Now let's do alternating. Opposite. Let's see. This is throwing me off. Let's see. I'm going to go a little slower. That's a really advanced technique to be able to go around like that to all those different chords so quickly. So don't kill yourself over, you know, oh my gosh, I can't get these, I'm a terrible pianist. That's pretty advanced stuff. So even if you have to go really slow, or maybe you skip over that technique for chords, okay, and you just do it with scales and arpeggios. I forgot to do this on the A major video, but let's just go through everything smoothly now to end the video. Okay, just without any of those weird techniques. Let's see. Let's do that again. It was a little sloppy. Okay. Let's switch it up here. That was a lot of fun. Definitely an adventure with those chords, with the alternating staccatos, or slurs. Remember, always do strong less on your slurs. That's the most important thing if you're going to be practicing this method. Again, just a reminder, every single one of these scales and technique videos not only introduces the different keys and the fingerings and things like that, but it's a different technique, a unique way of practicing it so that you have all sorts of different ways, so you're not just caught up in doing one way. If your practicing gets boring, you're not doing something correctly. You got to re-engage somehow. So, and that's the whole point of Pro Practice, not only with the technique series, but with all the repertoire that I've been going over, as well as my Josh Wright Piano TV series that has about 100 videos of just basic techniques for different pieces. I hope that these videos are helpful to you, and if you have questions, feel free to email me. My email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for your support of Pro Practice.